The digital mob came for her the moment she shared her joy.
Mhm.
We were talking about Alaina Scott, Eminem's daughter, who dared to announce her pregnancy.
And almost immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Savagely body-shamed on some third-party account. But her response, it wasn't like a standard press release.
No, not at all.
It was strategic, a really surgical takedown of the whole toxic culture behind it. That's what we were breaking down. Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we dig into Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and, yeah, influencer scandals, too.
From red carpet stuff to viral TikTok things, we get into the stories behind those headlines.
And today, it's this Alaina Scott story.
Yeah, what really stands out here is how this one incredibly personal moment, a woman just defending her own changing body, it somehow becomes this huge sociological lightning rod.
Right.
We're going to look at the specific ways she fought back, her communication strategy, really,
Yeah.
and how her personal fight connects to, like, actual hard data on women's health.
And you can't ignore the irony, right?
Oh, the irony is massive. Her message versus her father, well, his public legacy. It's pretty stunning.
Okay, so let's set the scene super quick. The
Yeah.
spark was October 2025. Alaina Scott, she's 32, announces she's pregnant.
Happy news should be happy news.
Should be. But almost right away, some third-party Instagram account reposts a candid photo of her.
And that repost wasn't innocent. It was framed intentionally, for maximum drama.
How so?
The photo itself showed her leaving a workout class. She was wearing, like, red leopard print leggings, a basic gray T-shirt, normal stuff.
Okay.
But the caption directly linked that photo to her pregnancy announcement. It said something like, "This is how she looks since posting her pregnancy news."
Ugh, pure clickbait. Basically framing it like, look at her size now.
Exactly. And the comments section, well, it did exactly what that account wanted. It just blew up.
A feeding frenzy.
Total feeding frenzy. Forget congratulations. It was all unsolicited opinions, totally focused on her body size, relentlessly critical.
It wasn't just random trolling then. It felt like a public statement that her body was fair game now.
That's the violation, right? And that public violation is what triggered her counterattack, which was honestly pretty sophisticated.
So, October 21st, what did she do? Did she wade into the comments, give an interview?
Nope, neither. She chose Instagram stories. You know, the ones that disappear after 24 hours.
Okay. Ephemeral. More intimate.
Exactly. And strategic. It let her bypass the media filters, speak directly, unfiltered. And crucially, it meant that negativity didn't live permanently on her main Instagram feed.
Smart. She controlled the narrative space.
Took it offline into her own controlled environment, yeah?
And the actual takedown
Wait,
is
yeah.
brilliant because it was so calm, so measured, not an emotional rant.
Right. It was factual. A two-part correction that just highlighted how absurd the whole thing was.
What were the two parts?
First, she just pointed out the obvious context. Maybe don't assume thing. She was literally leaving a workout, clearly active.
Okay. Simple enough.
And second, the other obvious but really profound correction, I am pregnant and literally growing a child. Like, hello.
Yeah. State the obvious because apparently it needs stating.
But then, and this is key, she immediately took it bigger. She didn't just leave it as her incident.
Right. She connected it to something universal.
Yes. She synthesized the whole cultural mess into one, like, really powerful phrase, damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Wow. That hits hard. Because it's true.
It instantly made it systemic, didn't it? She pointed out how women face these crazy contradictory standards, like, every single day, no matter what they choose.
Yeah, criticized if you exercise too much or not enough, or if you use something like Ozempic.
Or if you just exist while pregnant. Her specific incident became a symptom of this inescapable cultural trap, this pressure for women to be what? Perfectly unchanging? Invisible?
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
And then she went further. She literally called it a PSA.
A public service announcement.
Yep. Her words. This is your PSA to stop commenting on women's bodies, or anybody for that matter. Very direct.
Good for her. And she didn't just condemn, she offered support too, right?
Absolutely. She used her platform to give the grace she wasn't getting. She said things like, "You're beautiful no matter what your size is. You are not defined by your weight."
That's powerful for anyone reading who's maybe dealing with similar stuff.
For sure. And she directly called out that toxic bounce-back pressure. She said, you are allowed to gain weight while pregnant, and you don't have to bounce back in any timeline, period.
Just letting people exist in their bodies. What a concept.
And she even looked ahead. She anticipated the future criticism.
How so?
by saying, "They're going to hate to see me at 9 months." That shows she really gets it. She understands this isn't a one-off thing. It's continuous. It escalates.
So she was drawing a line in the sand, not just for now, but for the whole pregnancy.
Yeah, almost like using her own experience to shield others, too. It was impressive.
But okay, to really get why this blew up, why people feel so entitled to comment, we have to touch on her background, right? Her fame isn't typical.
Not typical at all. She's famous entirely by association, not by her own choice, really. And her family story is, well, it's complex.
Very complex. She's the biological daughter of Don Scott.
Don Scott, exactly, who was the twin sister of Eminem's ex-wife, Kim Scott.
Right, and Eminem legally adopted Alaina back in the early 2000s.
He did, gave her stability. Her biological mom, John, struggled with addiction and sadly passed away in 2016. So Alaina grew up alongside Haley Jade and Stevie Lane.
And Eminem's been very public about her place in the family. He literally put it in a song.
Immortalized it. That 2004 track, Mockingbird, he raps right to her, "Laney, Uncle's crazy, ain't he? Yeah, but he loves you, girl, and you better know it. We're all we got in this world."
So her life story is part of music history, whether she likes it or not.
Exactly. And even though she tries to keep a lower profile, now she's a travel blogger. At Alaina Scott, these big life moments, they automatically become public news.
Like her wedding in June 2023. That was everywhere.
Everywhere. Details about Eminem walking her down this 80-foot aisle with 2,000 white roses. That kind of celebrity closeness makes the public feel like they have a sort of subscription to her life.
A perceived subscription. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Which means any change, especially physical change,
becomes high-value digital currency. Her body, her pregnancy, it's content for these accounts.
Which brings us to the central paradox. The huge irony here.
Oh, it's stark, isn't it? Her powerful plea for decency, for just leaving women's bodies alone,
stands in such dramatic contrast to her own father's artistic legacy. I mean, Marshall Mathers built a huge part of his career on being provocative, combative, often misogynistic lyrics.
And notoriously targeting her own aunt, Kim Scott, in those lyrics.
Yeah. So you see the comments online, right? The whataboutism.
Oh, yeah. Stuff like, well, her dad made a career making fun of people. The implication being she should just take it or doesn't have the right to complain.
Which is just flawed logic. But it's out there.
It is. But that's what makes her stance so significant, I think. It's not just self-defense.
It feels like more.
It feels like a generational break, like she's consciously choosing a different path, moving away from that combative public mode and saying, no, the right to privacy, the right to self-acceptance, that matters more than your right to judge me.
It's a powerful shift. And her pain isn't just, hurt feelings online. There are real stakes here.
Absolutely. Let's connect it to science. This is genuinely a public health issue. There's data.
What does the data show?
Well, sociological studies show that a shocking number, like 65% of pregnant and postpartum women report experiencing weight stigma. 65%.
That's huge. And it's not just anonymous trolls, is it?
Sadly, no, which makes it even harder. Studies show that 66% of that reported stigma comes from family members and 44% from friends.
Wow. So the judgment is often coming from people you trust, people who are close to you. That's got to be incredibly painful.
And the harm is measurable. It's severe. Body dissatisfaction during pregnancy. It quadruples the risk of perinatal depression.
Quadruples.
Yes. And it's linked to disordered eating. And maybe worst of all, it can cause women to actually avoid necessary health care because they fear being judged.
So when Alaina spoke out, she wasn't just talking about online comments. She was voicing a documented health risk.
Exactly. And we need to talk about how this criticism often gets disguised.
You mean the concern trolling?
Precisely that. People pretending they're just worried about the baby's health while they're actually shaming the mother's body.
Is that truly strategic, do you think? Or just an easy excuse for cruelty?
Oh, it's absolutely a rhetorical weapon. Because we know scientifically that shaming does not lead to healthier outcomes. It does the opposite. It's linked to stress, depression.
So the concern is just noise.
It's just a cover. It's purely a mechanism for judgment, for control over women's bodies, and the whole digital environment kind of enables it.
Yeah, talk about the digital arena itself. How did that fuel this?
Well, you've got the anonymity to aggression pipeline, right? People hide behind usernames, social consequences disappear, and all the latent bias, the cruelty, it just comes pouring out.
There's no accountability.
Very little.
Yeah.
And then there's the content economy aspect we touched on. That third-party account didn't post her photo out of, journalistic interest.
No, it was for clicks, for engagement.
Exactly. They stole her image because her body in that moment was valuable digital currency. It was guaranteed to generate likes, comments, shares. The body shaming wasn't some unfortunate side effect.
It was the predictable outcome, almost incentivized by the platform.
It's a toxic byproduct that's baked into the system. It requires violating someone's boundaries, like hers, to make the engagement engine run.
So ultimately, what Alaina Scott did, her pushing back,
Hmm.
it becomes like a magnifying glass for this wider problem.
Totally. It reminds me of, remember back in 2017 when Gabrielle Union stood up for that news anchor, Laura Warren, who was body shamed while pregnant?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's similar. These celebrity platforms, they take an individual instance of something that happens constantly, often quietly, and they make it visible. They force a bigger conversation about decency and boundaries that we desperately need.
And her response wasn't just defensive. It felt like she was reclaiming her own story.
100%. It was a defining act of narrative reclamation. She just refused to be this passive object reduced to a body for judgment.
Instead, she put out her own narrative,
Yeah, one of Grace, self-acceptance. She actually said, I actually feel good with my body right now. And she expressed gratitude just to be able to move my body.
giving herself grace and maybe modeling that for others.
That's the really powerful takeaway, I think. Sharing that grace with millions who face the same scrutiny every single day.
So her call to action, that PSA,
Hmm.
it really asks all of us to stop and think about the rules of engagement online, the unwritten ones.
It does. It puts the responsibility back on the individual user. The person scrolling, the person tempted to comment, or just like something cruel.
What is our responsibility, each of us, to disrupt that content economy, the one that rewards violating privacy and body shaming?
That's the question, isn't it? It's something we should all probably mull over next time we're scrolling past a celebrity headline or really any post about someone's appearance. Where do we draw the line?
Definitely food for thought. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.